You know, it's pretty amazing how a single word, just one little shift in conversation, can be the difference between getting a phone slammed down and closing a massive deal. Today, we're diving into a story about a persuasion technique that all boils down to one crucial question. Are you selling the cost of something, or are you selling the return? Let's get into it. So, let's set the scene. Picture this. You've got a very skeptical father who needs to make a huge financial decision for his daughter's education. Two different salespeople are going to try to convince him. One is going to get hung up on fast. The other? They're going to get a yes. What makes the difference? Well, it all comes down to a really simple but honestly profound shift in perspective.
6 lakh rupees. Now, for so many of us, that's a life-changing amount of money. And for a father who's thinking about his daughter's future, it can feel like this impossible mountain to climb. But here's the question. Is it just a fee, a cost, or is it an investment? Because how you frame that number changes absolutely everything.
All right, so meet Mr. Sharma. He is your classic, hardworking, middle-class parent. He's cautious with his money, and he is fiercely protective of his daughter, Anjali. Now, Anjali has her heart set on this place called Pinnacle University, but that 6 lakh rupee price tag? To Mr. Sharma, that feels less like tuition and a whole lot more like a giant flashing stop sign. He's the guy our two salespeople have to win over.
So, what we're about to do is watch two totally different attempts to convince Mr. Sharma. First, you've got the justifier, who shows up armed with a whole list of features, what we're going to call the inputs. And on the other side, you've got the investor, who is laser-focused on just one thing, the output, or the return. Let's see who comes out on top.
Okay, first up to the plate is Vikram, our justifier. His whole game plan is to prove that this university is worth the money. But as you're about to see, he's basically about to run straight into a brick wall.
And boom, there it is, the critical mistake. The very second Mr. Sharma brings up the price, Vikram gets defensive. He doesn't actually talk about the value of the education. He just starts listing off things the university has, physical things.
So Vikram's pitch really just boils down to this. It's a laundry list of inputs. He's selling all the fancy tools, the smart boards, the AC, the big library, but he's completely missing the point. He's not selling what those tools can actually build for Mr. Sharma's daughter. And, well, Mr. Sharma sees right through it. And there's the shutdown. Mr. Sharma's response is swift and it's brutal. He hears AC and smart boards, and he doesn't think educational tools, he thinks unnecessary luxuries. They don't guarantee a better future for his daughter, so to him, they're completely irrelevant. And just like that, the call is over. So Vikram hangs up, and in his notes, he writes down the reason for failure, budget issue. But here's the real question, right? Was it actually about the money, or was it about his complete and utter failure to explain what that money buys? He's diagnosing the symptom, not the actual disease.
Okay, so now let's bring in our second salesperson, Rahul. He's about to face the exact same 6 lakh rupee objection from the exact same skeptical dad. But his approach, it could not be more different.
And right there, that is the game-changing moment. Instead of arguing or getting defensive, Rahul does something kind of radical. He agrees with him. He validates Mr. Sharma's concern. He says, "You're right, 6 lakhs is a massive amount." And then, with that one single word, he reframes the entire conversation. It's not a cost, it's an investment.
Now, this wasn't just luck. This was a deliberate 4-step strategy. Step 1, acknowledge the concern to build trust. Step 2, reframe the cost to change the whole perspective. Step 3, focus on the actual return on that investment. And finally, Step 4, offer proof to back it all up. This is how you turn a problem into an opportunity.
And here it is, the heart of his pitch. Notice what he's not talking about. No campus, no faculty, no library. He is talking about a salary hitting a bank account. He's painting this incredibly vivid picture of the outcome of Anjali's success, her financial independence. This is the return that Mr. Sharma actually cares about.
And the result? A complete 180. The same guy who basically hung up on Vikram is now asking for a meeting link. So why this sudden change? Because Rahul stopped trying to sell the university's furniture and started selling Anjali's future.
So let's break this down. What is the core principle here that separates these two phone calls? Well, it's a really simple but incredibly powerful idea. The difference between selling the input and selling the output.
This is the central idea we've got to get.
Vikram was selling the inputs, all the features, the fancy campus, the AC. But Rahul, he sold the output, the job, the salary, the successful career. It's that classic idea, you know? People don't buy a quarter-inch drill bit, they buy a quarter-inch hole.
This table just lays it all out so clearly. On the left, you've got the justifier. The focus is on infrastructure, the framing is just trying to justify the cost, and the result is not interested. But on the right, you have the investor. The focus is on employability, the framing is all about explaining the return, and the result is, yes, send me the Zoom link. It's just a powerful reminder that the frame you put around a conversation pretty much determines the outcome.
So, what's the big lesson here? How can we take this story about a couple of phone calls and apply it to, well, everything we do? Whether you're selling a product, pitching an idea at work, or even just trying to convince a friend about something.
Okay, the first and most important step is this. You have to stop talking about your inputs. Stop just listing off features. Stop describing your process in painful detail. That's your world. It's not what your audience or your customer really truly cares about. Instead, you have to shift your entire focus to what the other person gets. The result, the outcome, the transformation. Talk about the value they receive, not the effort you put in. You've got to sell the destination, not the airplane that gets them there.
This one sentence just nails the whole lesson. Stop justifying the cost and start selling the return on investment. When you do that, you're not in a fight about price anymore. You're in a conversation about value. And that's a whole different ballgame.
So I'll leave you with this question to think about. In your own work, in your own life, what is the output that you are really selling? Are you focused on the features, the air conditioning, and the smart boards? Or are you focused on the outcome, that first salary hitting the bank account? Answering that question honestly could change your